This week's project started as a remembrance poppy. I thought it would be about one man, but then I realised it's really about the empty spaces that war leaves behind, the people we never met, the photographs we never had, and the stories that live on through the generations. Today's video, as you will have noticed, is a little different. It's not a tutorial, it's more about inspiration and reflection. I recently received this mould, which is a new design from the newly reopened Moulds and Shapes. It's a Lavatera flower mould, but it reminds me of a poppy, and that got my mind wandering down the path of making a war memorial piece. So that's the project you will be seeing today, but you will actually be listening to my very own family's wartime story. So this video is much different to usual. It's a bit of story time. Before I get properly started with today's project, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about why I've chosen to make it. Of course, the red poppy has become one of the most familiar symbols of remembrance. Every November we wear our poppies to remember those whose lives were lost or changed by the war, and I wanted to create something that could be displayed at home. A piece of remembrance art that could perhaps be personalised with photographs, names, dates or little mementos that mean something to you. As you'll see later, I've added the words "Lest We Forget", a soldier silhouette and part of Lawrence Binyon's For the Fallen. They're all familiar symbols of remembrance, so although I'm going to tell you a very personal story while I make this, the finished piece isn't intended to commemorate one particular person. I hope instead that it might give you ideas for creating something that tells your own family's story. For me, remembrance has always had a very personal connection. My family comes from a city in England called Kingston upon Hull, and during the Second World War, the city suffered terribly because Hull was such an important port and industrial centre. It was repeatedly targeted by the Luftwaffe. Interestingly, wartime newspaper reports often weren't even allowed to identify Hull by name. They would simply report that a northeast coastal town has been bombed, which meant that much of the rest of the country didn't necessarily realise just how badly Hull was suffering. The bombing began in June 1940 and continued until March 1945. The raids caused enormous destruction across the city, and the Hull History Centre today holds more than 25,000 photographs of wartime damage. And one of the families caught up in all of that was mine. My grandfather had already experienced one war. During the First World War, he was only about 15 years old when he worked with the horses that carried ammunition towards the front line. It's extraordinary to think about now. 15 years old. He survived that war, came home, married my grandmother, and they went on to have a very large family, 10 children altogether. By the time the Second World War began, he wasn't serving in the armed forces. He was working at the cake mills in Hull. And then one day during an air raid, he was walking home from work. He'd actually reached his own front door when a bomb fell. He was killed. My grandmother was pregnant at the time, and the baby she was carrying was my mum. So my mum never met her father, and of course I never met my grandfather. And that is why today's project became rather more emotional for me than I'd originally expected. When I began planning the plaque, I thought it would be lovely to put a photograph of my grandfather into the little frame. But there was one problem. We don't have one. There are no photographs of him in our family at all. My mum remembers seeing one when she was just a little girl. She remembers that he had red hair and quite broad features, but the photograph disappeared many years ago, so none of his grandchildren know what the grandfather looked like. And that I find incredibly sad. We know little fragments of his life. We know he was a boy of 15 working with horses during one war. We know he became a husband and a father. We know he worked. And we know that during another world war he almost made it safely home. But we don't know his face. What we do have are photographs of the family he left behind, and this is where these old photographs become incredibly precious. This first photograph shows my grandmother with some of her children when they were younger. When I look at her here, I see a relatively young woman. Life certainly wouldn't have been easy. She already had a large family, but there's still a softness to her face. And then there's another photograph. This one was taken roughly 10 years later, and about 3 years after my grandfather was killed. The little 3-year-old girl at the front is my mum. And when I compare this photo with the earlier one, it's my grandmother's face that I find difficult to look away from. She seems to have aged enormously. To me, there's an exhaustion in her face that simply isn't there in the earlier photograph. And perhaps that's hardly surprising. She had lost her husband whilst pregnant with their youngest child and was left to raise 10 children. There was no modern welfare system for her then to fall back on in the way we would understand it today. And she worked several jobs simply to keep a roof over their heads and food on the table. My mum still talks about her with enormous pride, because however difficult things became, she says those 10 children never went hungry. Somehow her mother always managed to scrape together enough to make them a meal, and I think that is remarkable. Perhaps that's why, while making this piece, I found myself thinking that remembrance isn't only about the people who went away to fight. It's also about the people who were left behind, the wives who became widows, the children who grew up without fathers, the civilians who went to work one morning and never came home. And all those ordinary families whose lives were quietly changed forever by events completely beyond their control. My grandfather wasn't a soldier when he died in the Second World War. He was simply a man coming home from work. But he was still a casualty of war. They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Lawrence Binyon. The consequences of that one bomb continued through my grandmother's life, through my mother's childhood, and in a small way through the generations that followed. So because I couldn't put my grandfather's photograph into this little frame, I decided not to make this plaque specifically about him. Instead, I've made something more universal. The photograph can represent somebody's father, grandfather, husband, brother or son. The soldier silhouette represents those who served. The poppies represent remembrance, and the words remind us why we continue to remember them. If you decide to make something inspired by this project, yours doesn't have to look like mine. You could add your own family photograph, a service number, a regiment, a handwritten letter, a medal ribbon, somebody's name, or perhaps simply a few words that mean something to your family, because every remembrance piece could tell a completely different story. While I've been making this, I've realised something. I originally thought this project was about making a resin poppy, but really it's about the empty spaces that war leaves behind, the people we never met, the photographs we never had, and the stories that somehow survive, passed quietly from one generation to the next. I never knew my grandfather. My mum never knew her father. But more than 80 years later, we're still talking about him. And perhaps that in itself is remembrance. So here is my finished remembrance wall hanging. I hope you've enjoyed watching it come together, but more importantly, I hope perhaps it's given you some ideas for making your own. Whether your family remembers somebody who served, somebody who waited at home, or simply someone whose life was changed by war, your piece can tell their story, because every family has a story worth remembering, lest we forget.